with regards to the way you have so wonderfully described the Israel-Palestine situation, and then you spoke about how India is in somewhat a similar situation with regards to the identity crisis that the Muslim population is suffering. So, in which other ways do you feel that India's situation is similar to Israel? Because a lot of people seem to think that it is.
I don't think so. Indians have never been kicked out of their own land, ever. India has, it's the oldest civilization on earth. Everybody has come to take it over, and like quicksand, they get sucked into India. I mean, I still have relatives who are Anglo-Indians, you know. They came here. My grandmother was French. They came, they became Indian. Everyone came to India to become Indian, except that when the British wanted to mess up with India, they created a Pakistan by making Mr. Jinnah, who was a member of parliament from Mumbai, to represent people with whom he couldn't even speak, which is Bengal and Punjab. So India cannot be compared. India has never suffered an expulsion of its people into another land. There are issues of theories about the Aryan invasion. Fine, all the Aryans, whether I believe it or not, are living with the same. They eat the same biryani. They eat the same chutney and aloo chole, whatever. They're all part of us. I mean, the Zoroastrians can eat the food that we eat, but the place where they come from, which is Persia, people can't handle even a bit of green chilies. So our ancient culture embraces everyone into one large pool of diversity. We've got 29 states, 400 languages. Every Hindu has their own god, and there are still so many to spare. But in the middle of it, you come and say, there's only one, therefore I will burn down Nalanda University. And then people have the audacity to say, well, Bakhtiyar Khilji was a very wise man. He burned down a university, for crying out loud. He has no place in India's history. So what is unique about India is the lack of bitterness towards, or the lack of obliviousness to what happened. So you still have Lodi Gardens. Nobody can have Lodi Gardens if they were even slightly conscious of the atrocities committed by Lodi. You have Aurangzeb and Aurangabad and Hyderabad and all that, by people who came to kill us. We can think about Tipu Sultan as an Indian guy who fought the British, but he too was obsessed with pan-Islamism. This smarter guy, of a later age, took aid from the French to fight the British. Hats off to him. But then he had this obsession of going south and creating an Islamic empire there. This notion of wherever a Muslim goes to change it into Islamic lands is an obsession that has on the east of Delhi, you have a different form, where a place like Bengal has no borders with any other Muslim country. It is unique in that way, but everywhere else they're connected to each other, and they progressively go. And the largest Muslim country today is Indonesia, and they don't seem to have any problem with the Hindu ancestry and the culture. They have Garuda Airlines, and they have Lord Ganesh on the currency note. I keep repeating this. The president of Indonesia's grandson is name is Narendra. You can't have that. But now, at least in Saudi Arabia, they are teaching Ramayana and Bharat in the school system. But you can't do it in Pakistan, where these events, Kurukshetra is right there in Punjab. वो और बात है कि you cut it off and say that that's Haryana. No, but it's the same place. The same 5 rivers are coming together. It happened over there, but you will find not a single Pakistani who knows anything about that, because they are imbibed in an identity crisis, which puts them as taking pride in those who invaded their country, which was by any chance Hindustan, from Kandahar, that is, those are all Buddhist lands, Indian, even Peshawar's name was different. They are not conscious of their identity at all. So that is why they cling to something that is Palestine. But if you tell them, what about the Uyghurs? Oh, वो तो पैसे देते हैं हमको, तो हम उनके against तो नहीं बोल सकते. It has come down to that level of immorality. You are openly saying that if you give us money, we'll be silent. We won't say a thing. You can keep killing our people. But those people over there, we find it pleasurable that we can take out a procession, ride horses with 8th century swords. And if you've seen those videos of Karachi women on horseback with spears running to fight Israel.
My God.
So, क्या करेंगे? ये बदनसीबी है. I've never ever seen Indian Muslims protest outside the Chinese embassy. Whereas 1 million Muslims in concentration camps, everyone in the world is horrified.
Very true. Very true, sir. And this is actually, like you said, this is really saddening, because this hypocrisy within the Islamic community is...
This hypocrisy is even in the Hindu community.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to rise as the
Oh no, not at all.
You have Lodi Gardens. Muslims didn't call it Lodi Gardens. You said, oh, that is Lodi Gardens. Oh, yeah, I love this spelling. Let's put Ashoka inside the garden. We can't call it Ashoka Road or Lodi inside somewhere. We reverse it. For us, Lodi is bigger than Ashoka. So, ऐसा नहीं है कि
हाँ जी.
Oh, this common gene of being idiots, or not having courage, or not having a spine and lying is shared. All Pakistanis are descendants of Hindus. I don't know of any army that came with female soldiers. So everyone who was born had a Hindu mother. Even Akbar, even Aurangzeb, everyone had a Hindu mother. But no. We have no Hindu blood. Oh, it's clearly saying I was born irrespective that I was in the womb of a Hindu mother for 9 months. No, it had no effect on me. You need an awakening in which hate is out of the equation. Now that's the difficult part. You can't become rabid and become exactly like your enemy. You have to rise to a level and say, this Lodi road is gone. Ayodhya has been built. Court case ladna hai, lado. Babur was never born, never died here. Get the hell out of here. उसमें भी लोग डरे बैठे थे. अरे यार, मुसलमान का दिल वो टूट जाएगा. कैसे टूटेगा? Every mosque in India, you curse Hindus every Friday. You pray that, Ya Allah, Musliman ko qawm kafirin pe fatah naseeb kar. What does that mean? You're praying in India with government subsidized mosque, praying for the defeat of those who do not believe in Islam. At least you can go knock on the door and say, Bhai, ye kya bola tumne?
वो तो हम बोलेंगे नहीं क्योंकि
अच्छा,
as you said.
नहीं, फिर राइट ना करें,
हाँ जी.
आप गांधी जी की तरह जाए, लुंगी पहन के आराम से खड़े हो जाए सामने, बोले बताओ, पीट देना मुझे, लेकिन ये समझाओ तो सही कि you just prayed for my destruction and then you're asking for funds for your madrasas. Who taught you all this nonsense? And what are these madrasas doing when Islam was completed, when the Prophet died, when the Quran was completed, it was compiled, there are other questions to it, but why is there something called Barelvi and Deobandi, which create Taliban? The Deobandis created the Taliban, and the Barelvis created this Labbaik Hussain, Rasulullah, that party, Pakistan. Yeah, the ones who hold these big conferences in Dhaka with close to 1 million people swaying their heads around. Even in Allahabad and all these places, this is taking place. You can't knock any sense in their head. Any Muslim who raises something about it, he's destined to be killed.
Yes.
The fatwas, so people like our governor in Kerala would just be quiet, for his own life. There's so many brilliant Muslims in India, like the Maulana Wahiduddin, who recently passed away. Like tons and tons. They have no space. They can't say anything. If you're ugly and if you are wearing that definition of Bade Bhai ka kurta or Chote Bhai ka pajama, then you get straight to the Prime Minister's house, a meeting officially with all the officials. Everyone's bowing to you. If you're just a normal guy, 30-year-old, you're partying in Mumbai, nobody's going to say, oh, that's a Muslim leader. No. In your idea, a Muslim leader should at least appear ugly and stupid and dress up weirdly. Like, that looks like an authentic Muslim. This guy, I'm not ugly enough to be considered authentic. This is how the world has seen. No scientist is referred to. You wouldn't go to Professor Parvez Woodboy and talk of him as no. He's an MIT scientist. But had he been ugly and worn his bedroom attire to the United Nations Council like the dim Imran Khan did, then he would say he's a Muslim leader. अपने bedroom के कपड़ों को national dress बना दिया. I never saw this. I lived there 30 years. Who wears the shalwar kameez to the United Nations Security Council? This is what we wear when we go to bed. And then they wear a Western jacket over it. Have you noticed that? Which comes up to slightly above the kameez. Agar kurta shalwar pehen dete, I would accept it. Yeah, Westerners की कमीज ऊपर टाई का कॉलर और नीचे शलवार और कमीज बाहर निकली हुई. अरे भाई, you'll never find an Arab dressed in half Western and half Arab clothes. You won't find Iranians. Ayatollahs will wear what Ayatollahs wear. We are the only people who dress up somewhere midway. Pajama, jacket, two people. It's like putting your baseball hat at the back.
Yes.
Oh God, help us.
Namaste. We hope you enjoyed this Chitti Media content. Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.